Who was the player of the year 2010? Which team performed best? Well, that's the questions, because it's time to look back at 2010. And for some,
I thought we'd seen the back of this.
This was the...
yes.
It's still ringing in there.
Yes.
I had the fortune to be in South Africa, so I was on the arena twice, and I must say, it's a hell of a noise.
As long as that's
I will never forget it.
As long as that's the only thing.
The Bluesea, it hit us with a storm this summer in South Africa.
Yes.
Did the football there hit you with a storm? What do you say about the World Cup?
Well, I've got that as one of my biggest disappointments.
Okay, I agree. I think it was a disappointment.
Completely underwhelming, unfortunately, looking back on it. But
it didn't hit off as you had expected it to hit off.
No.
It was cold, quite gloomy, and the football wasn't that super.
Well, I think it's maybe just got to the point where we simply expect too much of it.
Yeah,
It was overhyped, it will always be overhyped.
Yeah. Is it time maybe to think about putting a break for the players before the World Cup and start the World Cup later?
Well, I think it is time to do that, but no national federation is ever going to accept that.
FIFA will not.
There's so many different vested interests down in football that will simply never happen.
Yeah.
I think we have to accept that it's the coming together of nations from all over the world, varying standards. You're going to get some very dull games, a few exciting ones, but it's a chance for teams like New Zealand to
exactly,
and Australia.
It's quite a good equaliser as well, isn't it? All these guys are still playing in the Champions League, and they've got commitments. Whereas a weaker teams haven't got many commitments.
And I think for them it's a tremendous thing. It really is. And I think, logically, if you want to see the best football in the world now, you just watch the Champions League.
That's the thing. There you have it.
So everything after the Champions League is going to be a bit of an anticlimax.
But it was the best team who won at the end.
Yeah, it was definitely, without a shadow.
I mean, it's disappointing. We didn't have much to cheer on as England supporters.
No, they were welcome to that.
We had more to cheer about than you lot.
Sweden were
and even the French.
Yeah, the French.
But we're not crowing, are we, Richie?
No. But it was a strange World Cup because you expected it to hit off, but it never did, as I saw it. And that was a bit of a big disappointment, actually. You're always looking forward to it. But overall, we had some great goals, we had some exciting matches. So of course we will remember it.
Absolutely.
For sure. Otherwise, if you guys, Jonathan Deal here, Richie Sheridan, you're truly experts here. What do you remember mostly from 2010 in terms of any player that sticks out?
Player of the year, Richie, you go first.
I got Gareth Bale as my emerging player.
Yes.
Scintillating in the Champions League, that performance against in the San Siro against Inter. And in the league as well, so tricky, and interesting to see if the defences can get hold of him.
Yeah.
That's a real test.
Will he stay in Tottenham?
I think he will do. I mean, they've got high ambitions now, haven't they, Spurs? I mean, they were fourth last year. They're looking to do the same again. Riding high in the Champions League, top that group. Above Inter, Werder Bremen. Looked a tough-looking group, and they
topped that. It's the sort of player you pay a lot of money to go and watch, isn't he? And the sad thing, of course,
airs and graces. We've
touched on this. That he's never going to have an international career, unless he wants to do a sort of passport change to become English. But it's simply not going to happen. It's a tragedy, really.
Some of the players that you never will see in a World Cup, he will
go into that group, isn't he? Definitely. No disrespect to the Welsh. I mean, they might astonish all of us and qualify for the next World Cup. Who knows? And good luck to them. But I've gone for Rafa Nadal as my player of the year, Dan. Actually, for his Grand Slam hat-trick in the French Open, Wimbledon, and the US Open. Coming back from a sort of dodgy period, he's really reasserted himself, and I think that you can't underestimate what an achievement it is to win three.
Fair dues.
That's very good. Team-wise, then, which teams have you?
Well, I've stuck to the same thing here. I mean, I've gone for Spurs.
Okay. He is a Spurs supporter now, Richie.
Well, I just go where the money is. Wherever my wallet's led me, that's who I support.
It's not contagious, is it, Richie? As a West Ham fan, I mean,
we can say also Richie's waiting for a hefty payback if
I think there might be some money
deep in Champions League.
Yes. I think there could be the wallet speaking.
I'm looking forward to the draw and see if they get a good draw.
Spurs, then, that's your.
And I think they've broken into the top four now for the Premier, and I think they'll be there for a long time to come.
And if they keep Harry Redknapp, they've been a great side to watch, haven't they?
They are
very exciting.
Rarely a dull moment watching Tottenham.
I still remember actually when City played them away. I never seen City being so hammered in terms of pace and skill over 45 minutes of first half. It was amazing. They just blew them away. So they are a very entertaining sight to see.
And it's just not one or two players, you know. You've got Modric, Defoe, Crouch, you know, all of them.
Very exciting. Good side.
Well, I've gone for my team of the year, and Richie was luckily enough at the Celtic Manor to see it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going for the Europeans, having won the Ryder Cup, and it was a fantastic 3 days of golf, wasn't it, Richie?
Cracking.
And in the end, they prevailed 14.5 to 13.5 against a really tremendously strong USA team, and it was so dramatic, wasn't it? The weather was appalling, but the golf was spectacular. You were there, you saw it, and for me that really encapsulated all the magnificence of a really true team performance.
I mean, that goes down as, you know, my memory of the year.
Yes.
You know, great occasion, and the tingling, you know, as the Yanks came back on the Monday, and you know, just being behind Mickelson, you know, hear him talking to the caddy. You're not far away from Tiger Woods. Or with a good friend, my father. You know, to share a sporting moment like that is really
something to tell the grandchildren.
Exactly right. I was there, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
You know, really. You know, if you ever get the opportunity to go to a sporting event, it doesn't matter. You know, whether it's just a small sporting event. To get with a big crowd and
it's quite fantastic that
feel it.
The golf board has created this thing with the Ryder Cup. You don't see it anywhere else in any other sport.
Because it's not individuals, is it?
No, it isn't. It's one occasion where these multi-million earners all come together for something that's really there's no payback for them at all, other than it really is glory for the glory of the game. It's a tremendous competition.
It is.
Really is.
Yeah, truly is.
Yeah.
And in fact, the coach of the year, I don't know if he goes down as coach. I go for Colin Montgomerie, the man of the Ryder Cup. You know. Never lost in the singles, and then he actually captained the side this year. So, you know, a great motivator, along with Sepp.
That's a tremendous.
He got Sepp on board, you know, the Spaniard, you know, a legend, and you know, he goes down as my coach.
Well, my coach is going to surprise a few people, including you. I think I've gone for Felipe Scolari. I mean, I personally think anyone who can get paid €16.5 million a year to manage Bunyodkor Tashkent of Uzbekistan deserves every accolade in the English Oxford Concise Dictionary. Felipe Scolari, I salute you. €16.5 million. And that was for an 18-month contract, but he left by mutual consent in June 2010, just in time to watch all the feet up and watch the World Cup because of some education issues with his son. Now he's gone back to Palmeiras, and absolutely everything in Mr. Scolari's garden is rosy. Well done, Felipe.
I would choose Ian Holloway, actually, Blackpool. Very, I mean, they were tipped to just crash out, but they have just taken Premier League with storm.
And he's such a character.
So I love that when a guy like that comes into the scene
it's
and
great
just
to see that.
doing some stuff. No media training, just hit it. I mean, he's a character, so I think it's refreshing.
Well, it'd be a great shame if they ever airbrushed that honesty out of him, really. He's very watchable. And what he's done with Blackpool is miraculous.
It's not
bigger than Hull, I would say.
You know, it's none of this. It's going to be a tough game, or they're going. He's straight to the point. It's lovely to watch.
But he's remembered. But we like that your picks there. Brilliant. Okay, we will also have some, red cards, yellow cards, because it's. I mean, what's your biggest disappointment of 2010?
I mean, some of our tips have been very disappointing.
I will never forget when you were so
90%.
short. Chelsea to beat Liverpool away.
Go to the bank. I'm still paying that off.
It's a bit terrible loan rate. That's a bit below the belt.
We do stick our neck out. I mean, we did say it before, but but I mean, England in the World Cup was obviously a disappointment.
It was.
But
from start to finish.
Well, I'm afraid I'm awarding disappointment of the year to Mr. Sepp Blatter, because I still cannot understand how anyone with a bit of logic inside the old grey matter wouldn't realise that cameras on the goal line isn't rocket science. it's all right putting a couple of chaps behind the goal in European matches, but for Lord's sake, this is the World Cup. The technology, yes, it would. Who knows if it wouldn't have made a difference if that goal hadn't been allowed to stand, England against Joe. Who knows? That would have been a key goal at a very key time. It might have looked very different. So that's one big blunder from Mr. Blatter, and he still seems to be burying his head in the sand and saying no, thank you very much to something so logical. And then I'm sorry, I'd probably get a lot of problems for this one, but Qatar. Awarding Qatar the World Cup. Well, you know, I know it's a long way off, but
50+ degrees.
Yes,
might be played in January.
I don't know. You know, it's absolutely staggering to me. But anyway,
money,
we'll
mate.
see how this all.
I think so. Yeah,
probably.
Anyway,
yes, for sure. We are rounding this off. I hope you are enjoying the chats here. We're looking forward to 2011. Your biggest dreams, hopes for 2011.
Well, it's going to be a quiet year. No Olympics, no World Cup. You know, no European Championships. So I'm just looking for stay healthy, I suppose. Spurs in the Champions League final, that'd be good, and the young boys in the Euro.
Young boys as well. That's also what I reached.
I don't want it to be on camera that I like young boys. I'll be supporting. them.
Yes.
Go on. 200 to 1. Get on.
I think we should move on.
And you, Jonathan?
Well, I'm just hoping West Ham stay up.
I
mean, you know, that's not unreasonable to hope for that, is it? That's sort of. I've been going into nearly every New Year for the last 30 years wanting that as a sort of New Year's resolution that West Ham can somehow avoid relegation. I have a horrible feeling that this year we're doomed. We're going down. And so in that case, my sort of hope for the New Year is that we do quite well in the Championship. And by this time next year, we're maybe 10 points clear. Seems very sort of nihilistic, doesn't it, to hope for
my
something
only
like that.
dream, as you know, I'm a City supporter, so I hope to be in Dublin on the 18th of May,
Yes.
finally in the Europa League, and at the same time being convinced that they are in the Champions League next season, so that would be good. Okay, finally, we are over 10 minutes, but that's fine, because we know that you are with us.
Stay with it.
Your best bet in 2010, that's interesting to hear.
Well, my best bet was Italy-New Zealand to draw in the World Cup 7.0. So that made my wallet bulge for a short period of time. And I also had Italy to finish bottom of that group. New Zealand were the only undefeated side in the World Cup to crash out.
That's true. That's true.
I had Italy at 70 to finish bottom. So they were my two highlights. Well done, the Italians. Lovely.
Well, for me, they were two on the turf. You know, I'm a man of the turf, like Richie. I follow the old GGs pretty religiously. And for me, I've got a lot to thank these two horses for, because they paid for my summer holiday in Scandinavia in England. Bluesea Cracker, who won the Irish Grand National at 33 to 1.
Yeah, I remember that one, mate.
And then Castles in the Air, who won at 18 to 1 at Ascot in July. Good. Two really lovely results, and it made you feel like that was nice. They paid for the summer holiday.
Money is sweeter than money earned.
Absolutely. So
yes.
And you gasped in the sun in Stockholm.
Indeed, I did. Yes.
That's good. Okay.
I bought my holiday. I had to cancel it a couple of weeks.
You see where you will
done a lot.
If Young Boys wins, and Tottenham wins.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah,
we see. It will be an exciting 2011, and follow Jonathan and Richie at the Inside Expekt. They will be with you, and enjoy your bets with Expekt as always. And we see you soon again.
Cheers.
Cheers, Dan. Good luck, everyone.